Hey everyone, welcome back to Cottagecore Family Homestead. I'm so glad that you're here and thank you for joining me in this week's video. This week I'm posting a little bit late. We've been really busy with homeschooling, but I'm really glad that you are here for me to take you along as I share how we decorated our home for fall this week and some things I did around the home to just make it look so much cozier for the coming autumn. And I'm sharing some family favorite fall recipes that I'm super excited to show you guys. And I hope that you will take these recipes and bring them into your home and share them with your own families. So to start with, what I was doing earlier is I was making some from scratch homemade whipped cream. All it is simply heavy whipping cream and a little bit of powdered sugar. Our recipe that my daughter and I use is usually 1 cup of heavy cream and a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. You could also add vanilla extract in there. We usually do that. It gives it a little bit of a nicer, more beige color, but I decided not to do that today. I wanted that contrast of the bright white against this pumpkin smoothie that I'm working on, which brings me to what I am making right now, and that is, as I said, a pumpkin smoothie. We have been having these often for dessert after dinner. It's been kind of gloomier, rainier, and we are so in the mood for fall, especially after we decorated our home for fall. But anyways, this pumpkin smoothie is delicious and we make it with raw milk and it's just an amazing dessert. It can be used as just a drink if you'd like, or it could be counted as dessert like we do. This smoothie is fairly quick and easy to make. The only thing you'll have to remember is to cut up some bananas and put them into the freezer ahead of time. I forgot to do that once, and so we ended up not being able to have these for dessert as I planned just because I forgot to freeze some bananas. So what I'll usually do is just cut up bananas, slice them, and I just put them in the deep freezer just on a flat plate. You could do it overnight or for several hours, maybe in the morning, so they'll be nice and frozen. So what you need for this recipe is frozen bananas, some milk, we prefer raw milk, pumpkin puree, maple syrup, which I love, and maple syrup really gives it that autumn taste, and then pumpkin pie spice, and that's pretty much it. You blend it all together and just blend till it's smooth, then just distribute it between glasses for each family member and top with whipped cream. And this truly is such a special fall treat. I will be drizzling mine with honey, but you can definitely do some homemade caramel, which I plan to do in the future, but I just didn't have time for this. I basically just needed something sweet and sticky. So I'm like, okay, I don't have time to make caramels, so I'll just top it with honey. And it was equally as delicious. I also love to sprinkle some extra pumpkin pie spice on top. And it just makes the most wonderful fall dessert for the whole family to enjoy. Fall definitely comes with lots of cozy cooking and baking, and of course with that, the house is just not complete without a full redecoration for the lovely fall season. And so this week we were really focusing on decorating the home, making it more cozy and more autumn-like. And we were really focusing on the living room and the dining room because that's the main areas where the whole family loves to hang out. And so I was trying to make it as cozy as possible. Also, I shared in other videos, I am slowly working on transforming our home into a cottage-like space. That's the feeling that I want to give in my home for anyone who enters and those of us who live here. I just want this home to feel cozy and like you're stepping into like an English cottage straight out of a Peter Rabbit tale. That's kind of my goal and where I am headed with my redecoration of the house. Aside from the fall decorations, I shared in a couple of my previous videos that I've been really loving the sage green color and just adding more color into my home. I feel like I've been stuck in that era where everything was gray, white, or beige for so long, like a decade. And so I am just so excited to step out of that and get some beautiful colors into our home. So I've repainted several walls. Well, my husband and I, and our kids actually helped like in the schoolroom, but basically our family has been repainting some of the walls in the home the sage green color, and I just changed out the curtains and the rod in the dining room, and just making little changes here and there really is transforming the house and bringing this cottage feeling. It's really bringing it together, and I'm just amazed and impressed at how changing up a wall color truly changes the whole feel and look of the room. I've also found that adding woven baskets into every corner of my home is really helping to achieve the look that I want. And another thing that I started doing that I absolutely love is I started switching out all the candles in my home to beeswax candles. So those are actually supposed to be better for your health than burning the other candles that I've been using that I just actually been grabbing from the dollar store. So those are probably really bad for your health. So it's great that we switched to beeswax candles. Not to mention, I love the color of the beeswax. It really goes with the cozy atmosphere that I am going for. The coming of fall also brings with it an abundance of apples, and of course I love to cook and bake with things that are in season, so I think you'll find me making lots of apple pies and apple trifles and a ton of other things that can be made out of apples. And I think this season I would even love to try canning apples. So if you have any apple canning recommendations or recipes, please be sure to leave those down below. I would love to hear your apple canning recipes. Today I am making an apple trifle. Which is simply apples mixed with brown sugar, regular sugar, and some lemon juice, and then some homemade frosting or cream, whatever you want to call it, and some crumbled cookies. I am always looking for new inspiration and new fall recipes, so if you have any recommendations or anything you'd love to share, be sure to leave a comment down below and just let me know what some of your favorite fall recipes are, and I would love to try making them in one of my videos. For my frosting, I used heavy cream, cream cheese, and some sugar, blended it well together until it got thick and creamy. So my family loves this cream cheese frosting so much that this is really my go-to frosting for a lot of things. I will just make this real quick for cakes or for some cupcake topping, for maybe muffins. For my cookies, I had some ginger snap cookies, but to be honest, I was not a fan of those. So what I used previously with my apple trifle was, it was kind of like these shortbread cookies, and that tasted a whole lot better. But you can really use any cookies, even biscuits. You can just crumble them up and use those. Also, as soon as I started breaking up the cookies with this wooden spatula, I immediately remembered how my mom taught me to crumble cookies, which is such a much easier way that I will be doing in the future. So you basically just take the cookies and put them in a gallon Ziploc bag, and you take a rolling pin and you just kind of crush the top of them with the rolling pin, and that works so much better and so much less mess.